Hey there. Lesson 85. Okay, so it's a review. It's a review of lessons 69 and 70. But before I jump into the material, I just want to say this. So for me right now, when I'm making this video, it's mid-October. And normally this book is done, since there's 365 lessons, people like to start on January 1st and then get to the last lesson at the very end of the year, December 31st. And that's, probably the way it's designed, and that's great. I've done it that way before, but I think it's important to remain flexible with this course. We're talking about a spiritual journey, and really the material talked about in here isn't really happening in normal time. So when we put some kind of limit around it, that something needs to be done, or rigidity every day, and I have to keep moving through it, it can become pressurized, it can become something we have to do, and the energy gets all knocked off. And so with this particularly, I found that there's a flow. I just started doing these videos again, and it's been like 2 years. That's the cool thing about this material. You can put it down at any time. You can do a lesson for several days if you want. It even says that in here. Like, stay with the material. This is about developing the ability to hear the Holy Spirit, or your inner being, and have it guide you. And so if you find yourself beating yourself up at all, or feeling bad because you missed a lesson, it's really important to let that go. This book, and specifically what we're talking about here, is grievances hiding the light of the world in us. That's the first lesson, and why I really wanted to stop and say this. Even resentments against ourselves. So if we're beating ourselves up, that's a resentment against ourselves. Remember, resentment is anytime you're resending anything. And when you're feeling that way about yourself, you are creating a grievance that is blocking a miracle and your ability to even hear your own guidance. And so I'm beginning to live in such a way where I'm really starting to hear, I think, that one voice, that guidance, and I'm being led places. Things are just so lovely. I'm experiencing true joy and true happiness. I would say for the first time in my life, I just feel so different. And part of that is this work, and lots of other work that I'm doing too. But I just wanted to throw that out there. So no, we're not in the place that's technically right now for the year, but I'm making these and going to upload them, and people can use them in the future when they're on the lessons at the time that works for them. So you do that too. Don't get weird about it. Okay, so let's see. My grievances hide the light of the world in me. My grievances show me what is not there, as I was just talking about, and hide me from what I would see. Recognizing this, what do I want my grievances for? They keep me in darkness and hide the light. Grievances and light cannot go together, but light and vision must be joined for me to see. To see, I must lay grievances aside. I want to see, and this will be the means by which I succeed. Forgiveness. Love it. Specific applications for this idea might be made in these forms. Let me not use this as a block to sight. The light of the world will shine all this away. I have no need for this. I want to see. Lesson number 70, my salvation comes from me. Today I will recognize where my salvation is. And just, the definition I look at it for salvation is being like happy, joyous, and free. Clear. It has to happen while we're here in this life. So salvation is being really happy, really connected to the Holy Spirit, feeling just very high vibration. And I think there's always further to go with that. So it is in me because its source is there. So today I will recognize where my salvation is. It is in me because its source is there. All good things come from God. It has not left its source, and so it cannot have left my mind, my imaging device of God. I will not look for it outside myself. It is not found outside and then brought in. But from within me, it will reach beyond, and everything I see will but reflect the light that shines in me and in myself and in itself. And a light example of this is, think of when you're in a really good mood, which is obviously we're not all the way to full salvation here, but just think of when you're in a good mood and how the whole world seems different. Like, things just can't go wrong for you on days like that. You're feeling great. There's ease, there's flow, there's joy. Everything's fun. And that's what it's talking about. So when you're even a little more happy and you feel that way, you are starting to experience the light in you and the light in everything around you coming out. Everything looks different. People respond to you differently. You can make jokes with people, and you bring out the light in them. Suddenly they're joking with you. And there's just a different cadence, and that has to do with what it's talking about here. Everything I see will but reflect the light that shines in me and in itself. These forms of the idea are suitable for more specific applications. Let this not tempt me to look away from me for my salvation. So obviously it's easy to look to a job, an income, a place, weather, fun activities, friends, alcohol, anything for salvation. It sounds dramatic, but anytime you're looking for something to save you or make you feel better, save you from an emotion, save you from a condition, save you from a circumstance that's of this physical world, then we are putting our faith in that for our salvation. Nutrition, medicine, working out. Not that those things are bad in any way, but when we put our power and faith in them, that those will save us in some way or from a condition, it's idol worship. So let this not tempt me to look away from me for my salvation. I will not let this interfere with my awareness of the source of my salvation. Or this has no power to remove salvation from me. Fantastic lesson. So go forth today, have fun, be well, and remember that your grievances hide the light of the world in you, and your salvation comes from you. I love that because it means that the power is in me. I don't need it from somewhere else. And I think it's very exciting. It's more about uncovering it than it is finding it, or accessing it. Can I get to God? Can he love me? No, it's already in me. It's about me realizing it's there, uncovering and letting it out. That is much simpler process. Hard to figure out and really get there and put our faith in it, but once we do, we always have access to that. So, and it works. Have a blessed day.